Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here. Grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, right? How y'all doing today? Hopefully good. Hope everybody had a good and safe Valentine's Day. Let's see. I'm actually just getting up from a nap. I got up from a nap to make this video. You know, it's snowing out here in Somerville. Matter of fact, I meant to look at the weather for see what we're gonna get for snowing, but I'm assuming I'll be out my Bobcat later tonight, and I actually get the Bobcat running this time, so I don't have to do snow blower and shovel. So that's a good thing, right? But these are the things we can do in sobriety, right? Not wait until last minute to take things on. Just take care of business, right? I mean, that's what it really comes down to. Is life's about taking care of business, and we're going to expand on tonight. Was something we talked about the other day was honesty, right? Being honest with yourself, so you can be honest with others. Well, really, honesty is for yourself. I mean, being honest with anybody starts with being honest with yourself, right? And that's how we, especially for addicts and alcoholics, right? That's how you're gonna know whether you actually have a problem with drugs or alcohol is by being honest with yourself, right? And you're not doing it for anybody else because you can't. At the end of the day, you can't do anything for anybody else that you're not doing for yourself to start with, okay? If the end result is to help somebody else out, you gotta want to help yourself out first. And I think that's why I always had issues in prior attempts. Well, that's exactly one of the main reasons I had issues in my prior attempts at getting sober. I was never doing it because I wanted to be sober. This is the first time in my life I can honestly say I want to be sober. I love my life, and it's because of the changes that I made, and it started with getting honest. First thing I got honest about was God, right? I was so miserable and I struggled so bad that I used to want to say, oh no, I believe in science and this, and I am. I'm all about science. I love science, and the beauty of the age that we live in today is science is starting to go hand in hand with believing in God and believing there being a master of the universe. And I'm not talking about organized, I'm not a big fan of organized religion. I'm talking about spirituality, guys. Believing in God has nothing to do with being, Catholic, Protestant, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, whatever. Because at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. And if you stop and go back far enough, back up and take a look at the picture from far enough away, you'll see it's literally all the same thing. We're all, there's been more deaths over organized religion in the course of human history than any other reason, or every other reason combined, and that's insane. Because it's all little idiosyncrasies. My God better than your God. It's all the same God, guys. Whatever you choose to call it, higher power, God, Buddha, I don't care. It's all the same thing. So, this again, getting honest, right? Stop trying to compare and just get together, right? So, again, it's all about honesty. It really is. So for myself, I had to get honest with myself and say that I did have faith and understand that I did believe. And that was, again, honesty and balance, right? So that was the big, one of the first things that put me out of balance is the fact that I'm walking around living a faithful life, but denouncing God. Like, it doesn't even make sense, right? I can't even explain it, but that's because of the misery that I was feeling, and I wanted to have something to blame, or not, or I don't even know. I can't even tell you why. Honestly, I haven't gotten that far yet, but when I got honest and realized that there absolutely is a God, and I believe in a God all along, and I knew that, and I know that for a fact now. It's not about faith at this point. I know because He's literally changed who I am, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, I've been talking about it. Literally, I'm a completely and utterly new person, a complete different person than I was back in a couple months ago using, and that's a miracle in and of itself. That is literally the demonstration and manifestation of a miracle, right? And I'm so incredibly grateful for that. And it all comes from getting honest. I had to get honest with myself, and I couldn't even get honest with myself. I needed God's help to get honest with myself. That's why I started praying to God and asking Him for help. And what He did was He started to take the rose-colored glasses I was trying to look at my life through off of me, and knocking down the illusions that I'd put up in front of me that made me it made me think I was doing okay, and I absolutely wasn't, and I knew this, but I couldn't stop to think about that. And He made me get honest with myself and start thinking every night, what are you doing? Where's this going? Look at everything you pissed away. And again, that was step one, right? And so now I get over the drugs, get into rehab, and I get a little bit of clarity in my brain, and I start honestly looking at my life, all of my life. And this has been the breakthrough for me, guys, because it's allowed me to get to go within, get honest with myself, and that's the biggest thing, guys. I was typically more honest with other people than I would be with myself. Excuse me. And that's huge, right? Like I had a major problem with lying to myself because I not only didn't have the answers, I was terrified of the answers. And again, it's insane to me now because everything that I found out and all the work that I've done, I'm everything I'm finding out, I love. I love who I am. I love what I stand for. I love what I want to fight for. I love what I want to do in my life. But it was fear and anxiety, fear and anxiety that kept me out there of the unknown. I mean, and that's crazy to me because I've always been somebody that embraced the unknown and dove in head first, right? But getting honest with myself has been so absolutely amazing, right? Now, I've been talking about for a while, like I've been healing my divine feminine side of me, the energy, and I'm starting to see that now. I'm also starting to heal the divine masculine side of me, right? So now I'm coming into balance, and that's huge because this is where things are starting to pick up and flow, and things are starting to make sense. And the mental clarity, the ability to determine what matters to me, what doesn't, what do I want to go after, what do I want to put my effort into, is absolutely amazing. Now, early on, I I took it one day at a time. I've been taking it one day at a time. I still am, and there were certain situations where I just didn't feel strong enough to certain things I tell people. So I was making up little white lies about at the end of the day I was putting myself first. But there's certain people I just didn't have the strength and I didn't want to argue with. I didn't have the mental clarity, the mental acuity to argue with some of these people that wanted to keep me back in the life that I was living, right? Not even necessarily with drugs, but with jobs and everything else, right? So I'm sitting there making up, just not coming completely clean with who I am, and what I'm doing. And that's okay, right? So I want you guys to understand that. Like, if you have to, not face somebody because you don't have the answers, but you know what the situation is not good for you and you got to avoid it, do what you got to do in early sobriety. As long as you're not outwardly lying to yourself and lying and lying in ways to manipulate people and get around something. But if it's to get somebody off your back that you don't have the strength or you might have, built up debt to while you're, in a drug-related situation, then do what you got to do to get away from it, right? But as you heal and as you go on, you've got to continue to take accountability and start to get more and more honest with yourself, and that's the beauty. For once in my life, I'm at a point now where I can be 100% honest with anybody and everybody, and it's not always easy. There's still people that look at things in a very askewed light and got so used to taking from me that they expect certain things from me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm finally at the point like, no, I'm sorry. And it's gotten to the point now where I used to get all anxious about it and I have to make up some excuse and try and appease their ego because I don't want to hurt nobody. And again, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. But at the same time, you're not helping somebody I'm not helping somebody by playing along with their bullshit that just further perpetuates ignorance in their own life, and that's where I'm at today. Like, and I caught myself doing it the other day, and I called somebody out, and they're like, "Listen, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, not trying to hurt your day, but listen, what you're doing is you're stacking your own bullshit in front of you. You know better. I know you know better. I've watched you do better, right? And you know what? It felt really good. Like I no longer have that fear and insecurity because again, I've given it to God, guys. Anything I have that's I have fear and insecurity about it. I don't feel like I'm strong enough to handle. I hand over to God, and then it's funny because it keeps coming up until I'm finally strong enough that I can handle it, and I have to handle it because that's what happens, guys. If you look at patterns like I've been talking about, right? Pattern recognition is huge. Patterns will continue to present themselves in your life until you're able to overcome them or handle them in the proper way. And these are the things that I'm learning, and I gotta start writing them down so I actually come to you guys better with a better message because this is what it's about, really. These are the things that are making the biggest difference in my life today because I'm realizing that when I have recurring situations, it's because I've made wrong choices. I keep making the same wrong choice in the situation, so the situation keeps repeating itself to to an outcome that I'm not happy with that I'm trying to get over. So now I stop and I analyze again. Prayer, meditation. It gets you out of the moment and gives you time to think. And not only that, but it gives you answers. When you meditate, you can literally find a guided meditation for just about anything you want to focus or face in your life, right? And you do that and you get quiet and you think. You'll notice, for me, it's usually like midway through the day and the next day I'll realize I'm having these silent little thoughts in the back of my head. Maybe I should try this. Maybe I should try this. And it's usually the same thing over and over again. And boom, there's your answer, right? And I'm finding as I embrace it, and I embrace my intuition, and these little answers that are coming to me through meditation, they're making huge strides in my life, and then they're allowing me to take that next step into continuing to change my life. And it's all from having the courage to be honest with myself and honest with everybody else around me. And that's where I'm at. And again, I didn't get there overnight. Oh, it seemed like it's pretty much overnight. But again, it's not overnight. It's as I've grown mentally and grown in strength. So as you start doing these things, right, as you're healing through therapy or, meditation, prayer, whatever it is that, you know your story better than I do, but if you follow my videos, I'm assuming you're either just trying to support me or you're trying to fix something or trying to, grow as a human being, and I commend you for it. That's great, right? We all should be. We all need to be, right? It's literally getting to a point where we kind of have to be. It's either we start pulling things together and fixing things that are wrong in this world, or we're going to end up in this just, I don't even know, this is, it's going to go bad. Like, it's going to go bad with technology and the 1% in power today. It's literally going to get to a point where it's going to be, we're going to be living in Hunger Games, and I don't ever see that happening because there's too many of us out here that won't let it happen, and I'm one of them, right? And this is real. This is the ultimate goal of all this, but it's just helping people be better. We need to be honest and look at life in an honest light, and stop coming from such a place of ego, but learn to balance out, right? Your ego is there for a reason. It keeps you safe and it keeps you moving forward, right? But you can't live completely in your ego. You've got to find that balance of, being in balance. That you got to be honest. You got to be able to get honest with yourself, so you can be honest with those around you, so that you can help those around you. You can fix yourself, so you can fix other people, or at least be there for other people and help other people, right? So yeah, I mean that's it, guys. Honesty is so incredibly important. But again, for early recovery, the most important thing is being honest with yourself and God, and acknowledging what you can face and what you're not ready to face yet, and that's okay, right? You're coming out of an addiction is an amazingly difficult thing to do. But if you take the proper steps, it can be very simple and it can flow fairly easily. Once you get your momentum going, you just keep it going, right? But you got to be aware of all these things, and that's why I talk about them every day. I want to keep you guys aware of these things. So yeah, all right. I think we'll leave it there for the night, guys. I'm gonna start trying to take better notes so I can get a better message out here. But listen, guys, again, please like, subscribe. Thank you all so very much for being here watching these videos for me. It's I'm starting to see a lot more action on these, and I'm honored. I really am. It means the absolute world to me, right? Guys, remember, God loves you. I love you. Nobody else has told you that today. I have, because I do. And, be good to yourself. Be good to somebody else. Do something good for yourself. Do something good for somebody else along the way, right? But first and foremost, be safe, right? Find out find out what you need and get it. But, guys, be safe. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.